So, how do you handle the waiting game while waiting to adopt? This request was from Julie C. She wanted to know what to do while waiting. We welcome any video suggestions. That's really helpful for me to know what you want to hear next. So please jump in and here we go. So I can tell you that the waiting stage is actually the hardest part of the adoption process, because when you're first getting started, first of all, you're thinking, is adoption right for us? You know, a lot of families move from infertility into adoption. So you begin researching, is adoption the right next step? What are the different kinds of adoptions? Just researching adoptions, figuring out where to even start with adoptions. And so once you decide to meet with a professional and you kind of get an idea of the different kinds of adoptions, you then move on to the first stage of the process, which is the home study stage, and just gathering all the paperwork and doing the individual interviews and the home tour. And then next, after the home study, you begin working on your adoption profile. And this is a tool that an expecting mom uses to help her decide which family is the right family for her. So that is a big, overwhelming task that families need to complete. And then deciding what agencies you're going to work with or what avenue of adoption you're going to pursue, and starting the paperwork for that process. And then you finally get to the point where you're waiting, especially if you've signed up with an adoption agency where you've hired them to do all the work for you. You wait. And it's so hard because you don't know when your adoption is going to happen. How do you plan for such a thing? I'm a planner. I don't do well when I don't know what's coming next. You know, when you have a pregnancy, you kind of have an idea that you have about 9 months to prepare for this baby. But when it comes to adoption, you don't have a time frame. So it makes it so much harder, the wait for the adoption process. So I'm going to give you some tips of things that you can do to try to help the wait just a little bit. I think one of the biggest pieces of advice that I always tell my families is that do not put your life on hold. Just continue on with life. Continue the vacations that you've planned. Continue whatever hobbies you're wanting to pick up and to learn. Just don't put your life on hold. That's one of the most important things, because you don't know how long this is going to take, and you don't want to put your life on pause. You need to continue on with life because life is going to go on without you. So just continue on with life as normal. 2 is be sure you get involved in a support group. There are online support groups that you can get involved in, and the support can just really help you just to be with other people who understand what you're going through, and they're able to help guide you and just to give you that support that you need to have people who truly understand, because unless you're going through the adoption process, people just don't understand. Your family, your friends, only other people experiencing what you're experiencing will truly understand and can be the support that you need. Number 3 is you can build an adoption registry. Amazon has adoption registries, so you can just begin, and it helps you make you feel like you're doing something towards the adoption process. You just start creating your adoption registry and getting it ready for when you're ready for people to start helping with the adoption process and getting you baby items and things like that. So just building your adoption registry is something you can do to help while you wait. If you're married or have a partner, work on building your relationship and making that as strong as possible. Whether that means going to therapy and just making sure that you have the healthiest relationship that you can to bring a child into. And you may also find that you need to work on some issues for yourself. So we recently created a online course called All About Adoption 101. And in that course, I talk about attachment and bonding with your newly adopted child, and how your past issues that you have in life can impact you in your parenting, and also especially in the adoption process. So if you find that you have past issues that you just feel that you just haven't truly resolved, this is a really good time to get into therapy and to see a specialist and to help you work on those issues. So when you bring your child home, you're bringing your child home to the best you and also the best relationship. And here's a biggie for me, education. As you know, I'm a fan of education, and this is a great time to really dig in and to learn about adoption. Because believe me, when you bring your child home, you don't have time to start and learn and do all that stuff. So do that stuff ahead of time, especially learning what expecting parents are experiencing. That's just going to make your adoption process go so much more smoothly when you understand the people that you'll be working with in this adoption journey. And that will be, number one, the expecting mom. So understanding her and what her experience is going to be like before and after placement. And then also tapping into adoptees. Tap into what adoptees are saying that they wish their adoptive parents knew. And so just really learning just kind of the different, the different people involved in the adoption process. So really take this time to learn about the not only the adoption process, but also just adoption aspects in general. And the last piece of advice I have is just to look and just take care of yourself. Pamper yourself, get those massages, get those pedicures. I'm talking to you women, and men, go out and do the hobbies that you love, and just be sure that you just take care of yourself, because this is a very emotionally challenging and draining time of your life. So just be sure that you are taking care of yourself during the wait time as well. So until next time, it is what it is, and I look forward to seeing you next week.